You know, according to all the sisters at the monastery, I should have been struck by lightning by now. Yep. Lightning first, then the end of civilization as we know it. I'm a bad, bad man. You do realize the rest of our little party here is going to talk, right? They do that. I won't have to. Morrigan will give me that look. I just know it. You should really kick her ass for me. I'd pay to watch that fight. So, what now? Where do we go from here? Right, I can handle that. I hope. Before we go, I just want to thank you. No one's ever made me feel this way. I wasn't sure it could happen, in fact. Good to know.
I await your command. We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
Yes.
Indeed.
Blast and damnation!
Yes.
And so you return. Lovely Morrigan has at last found someone willing to dance to her tune. Such enchanting music she plays, wouldn't you say? Why dance at all? Why not sing? What has Morrigan told you? What little plan has she hatched this time? That she does. The question is, do you? Ah, but it is an old, old story. One that Flemeth has heard before, and even told. Let us skip right to the ending, shall we? Do you slay the old wretch as Morrigan bids, or does the tale take a different turn? Morrigan wishes my grimoire? Take it as a trophy. Tell her I am slain. I go. Perhaps I surprise Morrigan one day. Or I may simply watch. It would be interesting to see what she does with her freedom. Enlightening, even. Would you give an old woman that? We believe what we want to believe. It's all we ever do. It's far easier this way, don't you think? The lies are always more fun.
Yes, fun. Tricking Morgan. Oh, who am I kidding? That does sound fun. I'm a bad man.
A tangled web you weave, Warden. I hope it's for good cause.
The book is inside the hut, with notes and spells enough to make even Morrigan blush with delight. You and I will not meet again. That I guarantee. Change your mind already? I changed knickers less quickly. Wouldn't we all, alas? Back to this again. Sabers rattling and jaws firmly planted on the floor. Oh, do something. Then do leave an old woman in peace. So many visitors. Next they'll be putting in a road, maybe an inn. Ah.
It is begun. I shall do it. I think I owe you an explanation for what happened earlier. You should know that something happened to me at the tower before you came along. You spoke to Petra, did you not? She told you I saved her from a demon. I did, but I did not survive that encounter. Let me explain fully. I engaged a very powerful demon to rescue Petra. It sapped me of all my energy and will and left me drained. It took everything I had to defeat it. And when I was done, I no longer had the strength to keep my heart beating. I remember my life ebbing away. Everything receded from me. Sound, light. I remember being enveloped in complete, impenetrable darkness. And then I sensed a presence enfolding me and cradling me, whispering quietly to me. The sensation is impossible to describe. I was being held back, firmly but gently, as a mother would a child, eager to slip from her grasp. I felt life and warmth flowing through my veins again. I began to be aware of small sounds and the discomfort of my hip pressing into the cold stone of the tower floor. The Fade contains spirits both benevolent and malicious. The benevolent spirits seldom make themselves known, because they want nothing from mortals, unlike the demons. It was one of these spirits that saved me. Without it, I would be dead. And it has not left me. It is with me, even now, bonded to me. You see, I am supposed to be dead. It is the spirit that is keeping me in this world. And this is not the way of things. Perhaps the spirit did not expect this, but it is weakening gradually. I am living on borrowed time. Yes, that we will.
I await your command. Mother's real grimoire, is it? I am glad you were able to find it after all. My thanks for retrieving it. I shall begin studying it immediately and unlock the power that it holds. It is a curious thing. I do not know how else to describe it. Indeed I am, a little. I am reminded of our first meeting in the wilds. I had been in animal form for some time, watching your progress. I was intrigued to see such a formidable woman, obviously more potent than the men she traveled with. Yet I resented it when Flemeth assigned me to travel with you. I assumed that, at best, you would drive me from your company as soon as we left the wilds. I am aware that I have little talent for forming friendships, to put it lightly. It is something I know nothing of, nor ever thought I needed. Yet when I discovered Flemeth's plans, you did not abandon me. Whatever your reasons, you fought what must have been a terrible battle without hope of real reward. And that is what I do not understand. Of all the things I could have imagined would have resulted when Flemeth told me to go with you, the very last would have been that I would find in you a friend, perhaps even a sister. I want you to know that while I may not always prove worthy of your friendship, I will always value it. But enough of such idle talk. There are more useful things to be done, surely. What comes, my friend? We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. What comes, my friend? So, full of questions, are you? I can see why you might ask this, despite knowing the fate that she has in store for me. The truth is that no, under normal circumstances, of course, I would not turn against my mother so. For all that she is not the picture of maternal love, I mean her no ill will. But Flemeth herself taught me long ago, once you know your enemy, strike quickly and without mercy. Were our positions reversed, she would no doubt do exactly the same. I know my mother well. I knew from the moment I read that tome that this is what she had intended from the start. Old questions were suddenly answered. You can have doubt if you wish. I have none. Possibly. Stopping her before she can steal my body is the most direct way. Even you must agree. I do not know how much time I might have to find an alternative. Do you have a suggestion? I know no such spell. I could create such a spell only if I knew the details of Mother's ritual, and that would only be found in her true grimoire, which she will never give up. From whom? Shall I go to the Circle of Magi, or the Mighty Templars, tell them of Flemeth and hope they surprise her in her hut and slay her quickly? Surely they would be pleased to help an unfortunate apostate such as myself, and would send me on my way once they finished their grim task. No, no one could and would help without my exchanging one danger for another. I have thought this through carefully. That is not the same thing, is it? Make no mistake, without your help, I would be forced to desperate measures. I would need to flee at the very least to find something. But thankfully, I do not need to. Cannot say. You are my only hope, in truth. Why? Do you wish me to beg for your help now? Is that what you truly want? This is my life that is on the line, and I am desperate. I know no other way to say it. Good. Then please, end this waiting and deal with her as soon as you can. This is driving me nearly mad. What comes, my friend? So, full of questions, are you?
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
I shall do it.
It is begun.
Another battle! Direct me!
It shall be done.
That was interesting and draining. I called forth the spirit that sustains me so that it could lend us aid. I did not realize it would take this much out of me. It seemed a good idea at the time, if a little rash. I think it may have weakened the spirit a little. Well, that's certainly conceivable. I suppose I shouldn't be using that particular trick to entertain children at parties. I promise I'll be careful. And thank you. Your concern is touching.
It is begun.
The dog's spawn have saved as we say.
It is begun.
Stop right there, outsider. The Dalish have camped in this spot. I suggest you go elsewhere, and quickly. I find that hard to believe. What business could we Dalish possibly have with a group like yours? A Grey Warden? How do I know you're telling the truth? No, that's true. Perhaps I shall let the Keeper decide for himself. In the camp, I suggest you keep your hands to yourself, and remember that our arrows are still trained on you. Follow me.